Boom. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. I don't know why my stream was deleted, but let me click it again. I ain't gonna worry about that one. It's messing up. But today is the day, is the day, is the day. If you haven't watched Donors, you need to get on it and you need to watch it because we have an amazing show. A lot of amazing things going to happen. I am still trying to set up these other streams. So give me a second because all of them should have started at the same time, but I'm checking my multiple screens and I don't see that they're all going at the exact same time. So let me just double check because I don't see the one on YouTube going. Oh, shoot, it is going. It's just on the wrong screen. So that's really weird. But yeah, so go ahead and join us, log in because we got a lot of things going for us. And I have to go. So hold on. Multiple screens, y'all. Multiple screens. I'm looking at three monitors. So multiple screens going at the same time, and I don't want to have this echo back to y'all. So I'm going to close one of them out or mute it rather. My bad. There we go. That one's muted. No echo now. But okay, so Donors dropped last week. I'm so excited. I'm still waiting for a few cast members to join. I'm still waiting for Kathy to join, but we're all going to be up in here. And as you can see, I'm here because, I'm always on time with my stuff. But we have a lot to celebrate. Hey, Terry. Hey, Terry. If you don't join the link and actually come in, ma'am, you playing. Anyway, I just want to start off by first talking about the journey in general for Donors. This 10-year journey that it has been. A lot of people don't realize that when I first thought of Donors, I didn't even see myself as being the director for it. Oh, okay. Before I get up into that, let me just say, if you haven't watched Donors, please go watch Donors. Go watch it. You can let it play and chat with us on here because we're going to be on here for 2 hours. Chat with us, join us here, log in, and see us that way. But since Terry, you're talking to me, that lets me know that the other feed is working. Yay, 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 yay. So 10 years ago, she says she is not wardrobe approved and she is the authority on that. So she would absolutely know as it pertains to that if it is going to be there. But for the journey of Donors, I didn't know at all that I was even going to direct it. When I started 10 years ago, I wrote it. I had the story. I was going to just do a feature film. And I was actually looking for a director. And so I started interviewing people to actually direct what I thought I was getting ready to move into, which would be the first feature film. Glad I didn't do it because I have improved that story so much more than what it was then. But I was looking for people to be a director. And funny enough, I did not have any women apply, but several males applied. We did the interview. Where is my... Okay. My camera said it's about to look at everything but me right now. That was kind of weird, but it's still working. Interviewed. I had several interviews set up. Every single one of these interviews, the attitude behind the interview was all that snarky, snidey remarks, looking at me with those type of looks, asking me who did I think I was to even be doing this, what credentials I had. Mind you, all of these so-called directors, they probably had made a short, if that. I was looking for really startup people because I wanted to build donors from the ground up. But with that attitude, it just made me want to do it all myself, because you're not going to sit there and talk crazy to me and still expect me to pay you. Like, yes, you were being the director, but I still would have been the executive producer. I still would have been funding it. Everything else would be mine. So in that aspect, it was just crazy for them, because they were, I don't know if it was because I was a woman. I don't know if it was because I was a Black woman. I really don't know. But that attitude made me be like, you know what, I got this, because I had already trained for it, for being on all these other sets. So, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna need my cast and my crew to come up here and join me, because I feel weird right now. Anyway, I'm gonna keep on telling you this because I wanted to give this background for donors. Because of that, they pushed me to believe in myself long before I already did. Before I interviewed them, I believed in donors, but they pushed me more to believe in myself as a director, because they had zero credentials, asking me about my credentials. So I was like, well, if they don't have them and they're questioning me, that means I can go out and make some for myself. So I had the attitude of, I can show you better than I can tell you. Rest his soul, Greg Lockett was like, well, why don't you direct it? And really, into that moment, I hadn't even thought about it, until I did the interviews. And with Greg's backing, yeah, I had already had the skills, the knowledge, because I had been working on other film sets. I learned and I trained to do this. And if I didn't believe in myself, we wouldn't be talking about donors today. I'm looking at my notes so I can stay on track too, because your girl get up here, everybody thinks I'm just so in your face in this, and I am actually a little bit shy. I do have a little bit of introvert in me, outside of when I know I am talking about the subject matter at hand. So I wasn't supposed to be a director. I ended up being the director, and everything that I did prior to what we have now built us up for where we would be. I started out with the web series. Someone was laughing the other day, like, why does she still have that web series up there? Because I am proud of my beginnings, where I started. The web series is 4 or 5 episodes. It's just backstory that did not exist in the books at the time, but now they are canon in the donors world. And I included that story up in the series. So basically, the negativity, it fueled me to get to where I am. And I had so many people at the start of this journey who were very supportive and pushing me along. Some of them are still there, some of them not. We all go our different paths. I think sometimes people come along and they truly don't expect you to actually grow like you do, or maybe your vision is taking too long for them. But we had so many other films along the way, and I'll just start back with Surviving America. We have Surviving America, we have Faded Reunion, have Keeping Secrets, we have, oh my gosh, Fractured, we have Donors. I have other films before that, but I'm just starting at that level for what's streaming on Tubi. So the point of this is to let's get together, stream, and watch and talk about it. So if you're new to this journey, or even if you've been here for a while and you feel that you haven't gotten enough shine from me or the production itself as a whole, baby, get in line. I am still trying to allow myself to give myself the shine, because this has been a 10-year journey just for the film aspect of it. It was written at a book 5 more years prior to that. So this has been a 15-year journey for real, for donors, for me. So if you feel like you're not getting enough shine, oh, she's not posting me enough, or you somebody that's come along later in the journey, this is just crazy, because I'm still digesting it. And the way that I'm putting myself out there, you're going to have to put yourself out there too. You know, why can't you celebrate you? Why can't you celebrate this with you? Why are you waiting for me or the rest of the production to celebrate you? If it's something that you want to share, Donors is out there, share it. Stop waiting on me. I don't know. Can anyone else hear the audio? Because that's crazy. Yeah. Because I can hear the audio. So I don't know why you can't hear it. Just double checking. Let me know, Terry or Kathy. Okay, well, Jake can hear me, so I'm not sure what's wrong. AC Dickens, not sure what's wrong with your audio at this point because everyone else can hear it. So, all right. And my husband checked in and said he can hear it too. So sorry about that. Don't know what's going on in your end, why you cannot hear the audio. The only thing that I turned down was the YouTube, but that's the feed that's playing back from this. So I'm not sure why you can't hear it, darling. Yeah, the train, it keeps on moving for where we are. Celebrate yourself to get to where we are. Kathy, try to get into the backstage so I can see as a test if somebody's coming through the backstage or not. Please. You don't have to come on. I just need to test somebody just to see if the link is still working because I did make some adjustments because Miss Perfection is up over here. I made some adjustments to it. Okay, Jay, since you were part of this film, I want you to answer in the chat. How was it working on Donors, especially since you kind of have heard of it for several years now, but you actually got to work on it this time? How was it playing a role? Actually, you got to play a character, but you also got to work behind the scenes as well. How was that for you? I'm just waiting to get an answer right now. He says he had a ball. Can I get some more details besides you had a ball, sir? What was it like? Or Kathy, give me something to work with on here. This is a watch party, a live chat to talk about the film. Y'all not just about to sit up here and listen to me chatting about myself this whole time, even though I have a lot to say about Donors, like a whole lot to say. So we can't even pretend on that. I have a whole lot to say about Donors itself. So, yeah. I'm so happy you found a place for me in it. Yes, we are happy about that as well. So, yeah. The first day of set, we started actually my birthday weekend, where part of it was to have a video shoot. Not a video, I mean a photo shoot. Oh my gosh. We had a photo shoot and we were going to film just the commercials and the news reporters portion at that time. So it was a lot going on. Sorry, I gotta resend the email back out. My bad. Love y'all. Y'all can still see me going. But yeah, we had to work on fitting the news portions in early because we had so much to cover, and I like more practical effects. I don't like everything being VFX. So it was important for me to get it out that way, basically, and put it in the film by doing the news scenes first, so you can put them insert them into the scenes later, like when they're looking at a tablet or something like that. It was just easier to do that way. Photo shoot and then the news. But I think it was kind of hard for the news people. It was funny, but hard because, basically they're on a green screen. So there's that. But it was still great, though. It was still great. But that was something easy. And it was also, for me, it was an easier way for me to load everyone in to the film. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Resending a link. Okay. Email resent with the link to get in. Okay. I can see you now, Kathy. Thank you for the test. Yeah. Y'all got to follow the link that's in the email in order to get backstage. You can't get backstage from the chat. So that works. Okay. So we did the backstory with the news, with the media. You can come set it over here. My husband is bringing me some tea because I have been a little sick this week and my voice is getting a little raspy. Thank you, baby. How many of y'all know I'm a horror fan, Me and Freddie up over here. All right. Jay said he loved the direction and still asking me to tell them to keep running. Oh my gosh, because there was a scene where when we're doing wide, we could see, we were in the warehouse and we can see all the way deep back into the screen. Thelma, I'm going to respond to you in Messenger. Maybe. Yeah, you got it. You should have it now. There you go. So, Kathy, I'm going to pull you up. Even though you off stream, you still can talk, ma'am. You can, or maybe. Just let me know. Just send me a message and let me know when you're ready. Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Leaving me out to dry. And then you froze up. Woo, you look funny. I'm going to put you back down until you come back up. Hi, Pam. Hey, Thelma.
Hello.
Oh, you got to turn your volume up just a little bit or lean in a little closer because you are low.
Lean in a little closer.
Okay, there you go. I can hear you better now.
Okay.
But 2 things for you, or how we're going to start with you, because you have 2 completely different experiences.
True.
How was it working as a crew member? Like when we them first few days.
This was my first time working with you. So the very first day was kind of like, oh my God, what is going on?
Was it?
So, yeah. It was just
like we've been working together for so long.
But no, this is the first time I worked with you on a film.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we have been doing this for a while now, though. I cannot believe Donors is our first.
I came in on a movie before this. What was it? My God, my mind just went blank.
Was it Fracture? Did you work on Fracture?
Fracture, right.
Okay.
So I only did a couple of days.
Okay, yeah.
Remember, I came in for a couple of days. This was the first time I was coming in, and I'm going to be there from the beginning to the end.
Okay, right. Well, how was that for you?
So at first it was like, oh my God, all these moving pieces, everybody, y'all knew each other. So y'all had like a family already set up. So it was like me trying to, fit in. Where do I fit in this scenario, finding my space. And so the first day was kind of like sitting back and just watching stuff. But that didn't last long because, as you know, Kathy don't have a problem with delegating. So even though that was my plan, That's not how it turned out. So
Right,
I
right.
figured out my place real quick.
And what was your place?
Whatever Kathy needed done, whatever you needed done, whatever Paris needed done, I made it happen.
But you know what? We are small but mighty. There were some days that we had well over 100 people on set,
Mm-hmm.
and we made it happen. From my perspective, looking in, I can't tell that you didn't know where you fit in at first. That's not what I saw from me. I saw you jumping in, getting it done, and that's what really impressed me. You learned the routine of, when I start fading when I'm on camera and need some candy, because what a lot of people don't realize, like some other directors, they get breaks. I really don't get a break because I'm also running a camera. And I'm
True.
also in there, when we're setting up, when they're moving lights and stuff like that, because that's when I'm doing a lot of my blocking right there. When the grip team and when they're over there, the grips and gaffers are over there setting up, that's when I'm walking through. So a lot of times, I don't get those breaks. So it is very important on my end for me to have those moments where I'm getting candy, where I'm getting extra water, or heck, when we were in that warehouse and it was so blazing hot, the thought just from you in Paris to put the ice packs on my back when I'm holding the camera, because these aren't things that I'm thinking about. So somebody else has to think about these things for me, because y'all know I fall out. I'll just be laid out, dried up on the ground, because I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about the production,
Right.
as a whole, and I'm thinking about everything else that needs to be done. But I will say this: you coming along and becoming another addition to the
Yes.
team made it so I don't have to worry like about all those other things. I just need to focus on what I'm doing on the actual set itself. So I want
Yeah.
to thank you for that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
And I'll add to that. I mean, like Omegia said, she's focused on one thing, and I'm usually trying to handle all of the back end. And because I'm trying to also wear many hats, yes, I'm also looking anytime we are on set, I'm looking who's gonna step up. Because a lot of time it is she and I doing a lot of the before, the middle, the everything. And we're looking for those who can jump in and say, I got it, I don't worry about this. And you were one of those. You and Paris both have jumped in to say, hey, we got it, just tell me what to do. And we had a whole conversation about you, because I said, yes, Thelma, just gonna step on up so I can focus on some of the other things that I need to be doing to make sure we are all good as well, so she doesn't have to worry about all of the back end stuff. So yes, I am in it. So sorry if I pinched a little bit, but
No, 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 no. It
it
was good. It was good, and I'm glad that y'all trusted us. You know what I mean? Because I've been on sets where people want to hold everything to themselves and don't want to let it go. So the fact that you let us experience and say, well, what about this way, or what about this way, and some worked, some didn't, but we still kept it moving. So that was good.
well, yeah,
We
we love it. We appreciate that, and we need that. So
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. We absolutely need it, because what I don't need is my producing partner running around everywhere else on the set when I need her on the set sometimes. Like I physically need her there for some conversations sometimes, not back there stocking, making sure that lunch is set up or something like that. That's not where she needs to be. So it is great to, be able to pass over. Not that you were back there handling lunch, but that's just, that's
that's
just,
all it was.
yeah, but still, that's just an example. Or when we had those days where we were in some of the bigger warehouses, when we had so many
Many
extras,
people.
being
Yes.
able to. And Thelma, one of the great things about you caught on too, when I started doing my walk around the buildings,
Yes.
you learned to follow me on those walks. as well, because that's when I'm giving the extra information for the day.
Mm.
And you're also being a blocker for people that's not part of the main production, for those other people to not just run up to me with stuff that has nothing to do with what we're in at the moment. You learn quickly to be that you
Buffer.
know that go to, that yeah, that buffer. I mean, even for me, something simple as when I'm trying to go to the bathroom, and I'm trying to get back, really fast. That's when I would get hemmed up by people with a million questions that has nothing to do with that they're asking me when we're filming Donors Part 2. you know so you were great at that, and I'm thankful. I want to shift gears a little bit, and I'm gonna come back to Thelma because you also had a cast role, but I want to introduce Tobias Armand. Please
Uh,
introduce yourself.
hey ladies, hey ladies, it's so good to see y'all. Hello. First, I'm a little jealous of this backdrop. I'm wishing I had the Donuts backdrop, but I agree with all what you ladies are saying. I'll just tap in with them. I've had the opportunity to work with her on different productions. This, stage, film. One of the things I think people tend to forget is that a production is a labor of love and everybody
Mhm.
works cohesively together. No one is bigger than anyone else. And when you're able to kind of give extra hands, and I'm one of the ones, like, I came in, and as soon as I came in, I seen that it was a family environment. And I always look out to see if there's anything that Kathy or Omega needs to help things going along. And Thelma, I can definitely say that she's one that's a team player. These one of the sets to where I just love being on. I love the passion that's put in, whether it's behind the camera, the characters on set. It just feels very natural, it's a natural flow. So as you can see, I'm Lucius at all times. That's my alter personality. And I'm just so very proud to be a part of this production. It's been such a journey, and I've loved every facet of it.
Okay, well, let's dive in. Okay, if people don't know, I'm gonna say this first of all. Watch Donors, stream it now and talk to us now. You can ask us any question about the show. I'm gonna put this out there. Spoiler alert. We're getting deep. We're not holding back on this with some of these questions and answers. How was it for you coming in? Because you were not part of the initial casting. How was it coming into for you?
Well, for me, one of the things I can say is that as a creative, I'm very big on supporting other creatives. And just from the things that I was seeing from like the pre-production and the BTS of what you guys were doing before I came on board, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I was sending messages. I was like, look, I don't know when this is coming out. Please keep me posted. I love, first of all, I love vampires. I'm a big underworld fan, things like that. So I was loving that. But the fact that was very supportive of the process beforehand, when the opportunity came up, oh, I did my homework. I did my homework. I wanted to make sure that I was ready when it came to my audition, and just coming in, everybody just really greeted you with open arms, and we locked in as soon as we came in. And I feel that it's important when you're working with a cast is that you're able to feed off one another, and you're able to bring in a certain amount of energy that the other person's able to feed off of. So, having a strong scene partner definitely helps us give that delivery. And it was amazing coming on board, because we have some amazing talent when it comes to our cast for Donors. So from Soren to Octavian to his love interest, everybody was giving their all. So I was just really blessed to be a part of the production, and I love coming in because it was intense.
How did it feel when you first sat on the throne? I mean, I know we covered this on some of Donors After Dark. You guys can go and watch the after show as well, but it's a little different. How did it feel when you first put on the wardrobe and
uh,
walked
I
into your throne room?
I really was I felt the energy. I felt the need for, and Lucy's really took on his personality of his own.
Mhm.
Really just, looking at the character breakdown, being able to do the script analysis, understanding what it is as a director that you wanted from us as cast for those characters. Trust me, I was Lucy's when I walked in the door. So when I stepped on the throne, it was like where I felt I was supposed to be. But again, I don't think that anyone can really do well unless you have amazing cast members surrounding you. So just like the energy that just came from everyone. Soren was giving me a run for my money. He definitely was locked in of, he didn't care too much about Lucy, so we would be able to feed off of each other, and then also being able to give that dynamic of being passionate as a protective uncle, but also being very kind of old school and very proud, as feeling that the vampires are a step above, a mere human being.
Right.
But yeah, it was one of those things to where it took me a minute to come out of character when we stepped off set. I was locked in. I was locked in all the way. And then of
Well,
course the wardrobe was
that's where I
amazing.
was gonna go.
So, we had
Yes.
some talent in every department.
Yes, I was going to mention the wardrobe because actually I mentioned the throne room, but your scenes actually started with the boardroom first. So that was a more intimate but powerful dynamic because we had the scenes with the New Haven Coven, you of course and Tatiana, and you had the humans, the government faction. And even when I look back at it now, I've watched it 50 million times, but I look at I do look at the photos. So the wardrobe, Terry, in those four in the photos, matching those locations, the
Mhm.
color palette, girl, the color palette alone, the in those settings in the boardroom, it's like, yes, you did go location scouting with us, but still to get the wardrobe patch perfectly to match not just the character, but also those settings.
Mm.
Like, it's just, phenomenal.
I
Like,
think
it
that's
really brings it to life.
I think that's a real testament though to maybe to your writing. I can look at that script and I am immediately seeing these characters and their looks, and then you couple that with the good locations and it all comes together, but it really starts with what you've got on the written page. I mean, Tobias came in, kind of, I don't say last minute, but a little bit. Like he was a later addition to the
Yes, we had
script.
already started filming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we had, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was able to pick up what you were, thinking and seeing in your brain as the writer. He came in with amazing options for wardrobe and accessories and all this other stuff. Like he was a dream to work with. It's hard in the independent world when you're relying on your cast to bring a lot of their wardrobe. You're just hoping they've got something in their closet or that they're willing to go out and find something, but he came to set like ready to go, and it just made my job very easy. And I think coupled together, he really was able to make Lucius come to life pretty quickly.
And
But yet and still, hold
go
on,
ahead.
Kathy. But yet and still, Terry, I'm gonna put this back on you because
Okay.
there were days where we had people thrown in that day. For example, Thelma with the parents.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
those aren't people that you even had any idea who was gonna play
Right.
that scene until that morning. We
Right.
have to do quick pivots for this to happen.
Yeah.
But the wardrobe,
Yeah. And again, I think that's a matter of being prepared and knowing your script and knowing the vision. I my catchphrase with Greg Lockett was "We will not be thwarted," right? And so I always wanted to have stuff on my rack that was going to be able to be used if something came up. Like when we said, "Hey, Thelma, guess what? You're the mom today." Okay. Let's see what we have. So that's again a matter of preparation, which you are amazing. Um, to work with in that sense because you give us that time to look at the script, to break it down, and to prepare and think things through, ask you questions. Is this what you're thinking? Is this what you're seeing? Is this day the same day as that day in the script? Because that can really get muddied quick because we never
Yeah.
shoot in order. I don't think people that don't work in the TV and film industry realize how convoluted filming can be sometimes.
Yes.
um I've worked as a background actor for a number of years, and people are like, "Oh, what's going on in the story?" I have no idea. Like, even as a background actor, I can tell you what happened in that particular scene that I worked in. But if you don't have the full script and the full breakdown, you have no clue. No clue
Yes.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I will add to that. And I was going to say, yes, it is great because Omega will give you a diagram. And I would say, even when Tobias came in, you know, just him being added, because we all know she's going to throw us all in somewhere. So you have to
Yep,
be prepared.
guilty. Yep, yep.
So even far as Tobias, she and I were talking, and I think what made Tobias' role really great was just even his voice. Knowing, that voice, and you could hear it. And we were coming up trying to throw out names and stuff. And she was like, Lucius. And I just kept saying, Lucy, Lucius, and it rolling off my tongue. And I was like, oh, that's going to be great for him. And you could just even see the character come to life. If once you see Tobias, if you hear Tobias, and then, I mean, immediately, you talking about, she had to write this stuff in. She's writing stuff like on the, just on the spot days before, and she has to get this stuff, to him for him to learn this stuff. And it's like, oh my goodness. And you would never know that he was just a add on. He came in and he embodied the role, and it was amazing and awesome. So thank you, Tobias.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. Just one of the things I can tell from the very start is how meticulous Omega is, the both of you. Um, I've been on a number of different sets, but to be able to see how detailed the call sheet was, how the details was in there, the precision when it comes to the delivery of the communication of the emails. Initially, Terry, she reached out, she said, "Hey, I'm Terry, I'm the costume designer. If you need anything," and I would be out, and I'm like, "Hey, Terry, I picked this up. I see this. What do you think about this?" We had a good open communication, and just being on set. And one of the things is being able to really know your script and to know it in and out, but to be able to be on set, and she has like the little miniature sides for you, it just
Yeah.
shows that she thought about every single thing to be able to give us that support. And one of the things that I like about as a director, I know as an artist, you're very passionate about what your creation is. But when you have the rapport with your cast and you trust them with those characters, because there was a certain times that I seen something in the script and I was like, I think I want to try a little something with Lucy. So I would think I want to add a little something, So we would have our dialogue, and she was like, "Well, okay, well, let's give it a shot and see how it goes." That helps a lot to be able to really dive in and give your essence to what that character is. So it was just amazing to work with all of you on it.
Those hand things, that's what I was mocking.
Yes.
Oh.
Constantly doing constantly and everything. It'll just be those. It takes.
Yes, yes. And I did the first time that I did that because I was like, this just feels natural. And I think you had to cut. You was like, cut, cut. I wasn't ready. I was not.
I was not ready for that first scoff. It took me. It was so good, but it took me. I could not hold my laughter because it was so. You're such this big brooding character, and then it's like you throw these mini tantrums. So it's like,
Because Lucy's is always pondering something in his head. He always got something stuck up. So I wanted to be able to always give that audience the idea like there's something a little this character has layers. This is something going on that is kind of foreshadowing. So just being able to remember like the even when the camera is not directly on you is one of the things to where you have to be able to give something because the little nuances, everything, it makes a difference.
But and even with that, Tobias, it didn't matter whether you was on camera, wasn't on camera. I mean, there was times I forgot you were Tobias because you was Lucius, because you were always in character and you took hold of it. I mean, everyone, even now asks me, I know Lucius. I said his name is Tobias. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was my feedback when I read the script and I reached out to you and Omega. I say, "Oh yeah, just I'm Lucius from now on. That's that just refer to me as Lucius." So, every single role that I dive into, I try to give it my all. And when I'm on set, I'm locked in. I am Lucius when I'm on set. So, and I think some of the times too is that you can never be fully prepared and you have to be able to be reactive to whatever your scene mate is giving you. So when you're
Mhm.
locked into what that character would do, you just got to be prepared and really be in that person and not Tobias coming on set, but I'm Lucius on this throne.
Right.
Yeah,
Your
but I
your brother just said hello, Alex. So Alex,
and
if
I
you
was getting
see
ready
us
to.
and join us, follow the link in the email, please, and you can join us
And
that way if you can.
and I was gonna even say that with even Alex, that scene with the three of you guys, Soren, you and Alex, there, you guys, that stance of like just powerful
Oh,
men. It is
yes.
just, it
Yes.
was to me that it's just awesome. I'm like, you guys, the three of you guys, y'all did that. Y'all
Yeah,
really did
the
that.
flashback scenes, the outside scenes,
Yes, it was
of them
power.
looking yes,
Down.
that trio
Hmm.
looking, yeah. Both of them when they're in the woods and they're looking down at Six, and when they're on the practice field, it's amazing. Like that scene with them on the practice field, that soul intimidation, and you have Gregor, he's like armigers.
Yeah.
That just is powerful. Hello Alex, and hello Tanisha.
Hello, guys. Hello.
Hi.
And that's
Buongiorno.
and
Bonjour.
that's
Yeah.
great because I never even, what makes this great because Alex was always on board and he's such a strong, he's his strong in his own right. And I never saw that addition. And I just
No,
think
none
it
of
was a
us.
great
None
ad.
of us. Yeah. None
Oh,
of us
thank
saw that. So having someone that can even match him
Yes,
and be his brother,
correct.
and that's the power that
Yes,
he already brought, because he had already filmed those
yes,
beginning scenes where he had Demetrius, by the neck and by the throat. But I'm gonna step it back just a second, because Alex has been here since the very beginning. He was part of my web series from day one, and we worked together, of course, outside of donors in the other side of the film world where we got our start. How was it, Alex, going from where we first started to donors of what it is now for
Okay,
you?
so yeah, so I do remember very clearly the day that we did a scene. I don't remember where we did a scene on the street somewhere, and I thought the idea was great, but I always thought, geez, this needs to be needs to be bigger, needs to be bigger. Now, in the process, I always look at you and everything you did, production by production by production by production, and I knew that donors were always in the back of your mind. So when you told me, Alex, I think we can do it, I said, fuck yeah, that's finally. Because it's, I mean, the first is a great product. It's different from what people are used to see. And then I saw the birth of these things from nothing, from from somebody's dream, so from Omega's dream, and I still remember. I always tell the same story, buddy. Oh, I still remember on set of Insurgent when everybody was on the phone, on the book, making laugh and do stuff, and she was studying, writing. Then go to the set, action, cut, go back and study. And I told her, look, you're gonna become somebody. And guess what? She became. So of course, she's supported by wonderful people, and the amazing things that I notice in donors that everybody is nice, everybody's supportive, everybody deserve way better, but everybody's willing to come up with own sacrifice, with own time to make these things better things. And I think Omega and everybody, you guys did it right. So I think it's about time, and we need to think to have a second season here.
I mean, of course, the second season is in it. You know, that's a thought. That is absolutely a thought. That's why we need everybody to go watch Donors multiple times now. Watch it, so we can have that season 2 because you know it's already written. That's not the problem.
No, I know. So just a food for thought. I know it's maybe you think it's a joke, but it's not. In Italy, you can't watch Tubi because Tubi is not. It doesn't work in Italy. So what you need to do to watch Tubi, you need to have a VPN and make basically that your address is in America. So I have hundreds of people in the army that I met that was my colleague. They actually keep streaming in Tubi the donors in the barracks during the break. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
what needs to be done, guys, I know it sounds stupid, but if you really put Tubi on television and you do whatever else you want, you play as a background, it
Yeah.
always helps to a minus. That's how it works, Tubi. So
Yeah. It adds up a lot. Are you at the restaurant?
yeah.
Okay. Yes. Not
Look,
only
the king has spoken. Right.
right. Yes. Alex is an amazing actor. He is an amazing stunt coordinator. That's the other thing too, you guys. He doesn't just act. He helps a lot, you know, with stunt coordinating because for me, safety is more important than everything because I have worked on sets where I have done light stunt work and it has not always been safe. So that's like one of my biggest things. So I am honored and very thankful that I can lean on Alex when it comes to that. So he's not just on set when it's time for his scenes, he's on sets when we're doing the fight scenes as well. So that was, you know, it's huge for me to be able to have that support and be safe because I can walk away from the set and let Alex, you know, run that portion of the fight scene. You know, I just give my idea and I can step away and know that it's gonna be okay and not stress over every single punch hit and it's gonna be safe. So I'm thankful for that.
I'm grateful for this kindly word, but I'm grateful to actually have a director like you, beside a producer. I'm talking about a director's straight point of view, a director that actually listen, a director that actually take notes from me, from other people to make better things. So sometimes director has a huge ego, and you are wonderful to work with, and you listen to me and listen to people that you think matters. But I do love at one point that you say when it's time to say, you know what, we need to do it the way I say it, that you have no worries to actually make your voice heard because that's what your vision. So this balance between listen to people, understand what's going on, and then take the final decision to make it is what make a director a good director.
Thank you. Thank you. What were you about to
Absolutely.
say, Terry? Your mouth was open.
Oh, I was just like, oh, Matt. Saying hi, Matt.
Yeah.
Looking for fun ways to beat the heat this summer? Hello.
Hi, Matt, and welcome. One of our he's not a human faction. He is part of the Human Council. One of our Human Council members. You know him along with his lovely wife Donna. He's over there making us dizzy because he's walking around the house. But welcome.
Well, I'm just getting in the light because Donna's watching TV. So
Okay, no problem. But
now you
welcome
can see me,
and
sort of.
yes.
I'm in the studio
Okay.
or
Well,
my
that
studio.
yeah, that works too. But welcome. You're not a new addition to donors or the production. Well, no, you're a new addition to donors, but you're not new to working with us. Matt got tossed into the mix on keeping secrets. He learned the hard knocks way of getting thrown in, getting thrown in and making it happen that way as well. So welcome.
Thank you.
Introduce your. I'm gonna go back because Tanisha, can you hear us? Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everybody.
Oh my God, no.
Hey.
Why?
Hey. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi
There she
everyone.
is.
I'm Keisha, aka Nyla. How's everything going?
It's
Good.
going
Oh,
good. Look at that baby trying to be on camera.
the young armature.
Yes. Well, they were in it too, so that's good. They were
Yes.
armatures, so that's good. They were there as
Yes.
well. So welcome, the wonderful Nyla. You're driving, so I'm not gonna ask you too many questions. Yeah.
Oh no, my
I
sister's
want
close
I
to
want I want you to
me.
be safe. Yeah, but your background is loud. So yeah. So there's that. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
We can put you
Hi.
on mute, Tanisha.
yeah.
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 But I
So
wanted to
Ciao.
tap
you
in
guys
with
Here's some off in the school.
Those Italian people?
No.
Okay,
but I wanted to
somebody.
tap in. I wanted to tap in
go
with Alex Alessandro. He was bellissimo. Alex was such a strong presence, and to be able to share the screen to be his brother, I was like, I knew Lucius had to be a force because, of course, you already see with the accent itself, but Alex is a force to be reckoned with, as Gregor. So it was just really a pleasure. So you had to really come with your A game to share the throne with Gregor.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think he stepped
He's
out.
back now. No. He's back. I had
I'm
moved him because
back.
he had
So
put the
sorry.
phone back in his pocket.
I got people at the restaurant. So
Yeah. You working,
To
doing double duty.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
to
Well, somebody
Manjari.
give you your accolades. You missed all of that.
Yeah, I try to give you a little spotlight, to my brother. But
Hello, man.
definitely we're just saying that it's a pleasure to work with you. Sometimes people aren't always keen to the idea of sharing the screen, and you have such a strong presence, and I can tell that you are professional when it comes to the craft. So definitely
Oh,
a
well,
pleasure
thank you, man.
to yeah, man, to be on set with you. I was like, okay, this brother is bellissimo. So it was
Bellissimo. So, brothers from
def
another mother. Love
yes,
that.
yes.
Yes.
But you
Yes.
know what? You know what? I think the Omega. I don't know if she thought about that. I think. Let me put this idea on the team, and especially because again, you're my brother. You're definitely my same skin color. But the blood that we have in our vein is it's red.
It's the same.
So the thing is, I don't know how, but I think. I mean, you're the writer, darling. But I think somehow to put this idea that no matter what color we are, we
Yeah.
bleed the same colors. I think it's a good thing. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say
Yeah, absolutely.
without being too much politics. But yeah,
Well, the backstory for them has already been written. It was written, you were supposed to have, it wasn't supposed to be a brother, it was supposed to be an uncle or something, but I kind of rearranged that story now for season 2 for that to be your brother because of the backstory of it. It was
yeah.
already there and going back way, to 500 BC and stuff like that. It does encapsulate all of that.
Okay, perfect. See, I
It
knew
gives
that.
Wait a
well with
minute. Did I
all of
know you in
my
100 BC?
no, you're dead. But you're not thought of yet. But
Well, I
But
am that old.
I mean, you walk with Jesus, but
But you look good. You do it well.
yeah, but it's about putting up. I want to entertain, I want to do all of that, but most importantly, I want to put messages, real world messages into, my project. So that's where that comes along from. You have someone named Jay saying, "Hey." I think he meant Alex, but he said Alyssa for Chino. I think he means Alex, though. It's great to work with. I
What's the
agree.
front? Of course.
Hey,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
hey,
So,
Paula.
huh?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna see if Tanisha was in a quieter spot so she can give us her experience real quick. You have to come off mute, boo.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Oh, I miss y'all. I miss y'all. This set was just one of a kind, man.
Mm. How was it stepping into Nyla though? This big shoes to fall.
Nyla, it was easy stepping into Nyla. Parts of me from my heyday back in the day was definitely Nyla already. You know, the overlooked, the misfit of the group. You know, and then later on you get a little attention later. You know, or not realize people don't really understand who you are, what you are. When they do, they realize Nyla is. She might be worth something. She might be all. But stepping into Nyla, that role, that book just, oh gosh, that's how I came upon Donors First. Reading this book and realizing, like, goodness gracious, I need this role because this is exactly. There are so many layers to her that I identified with. That just, I was like, I gotta get this. Let me work. Let me work. Let me get to work.
Well, you worked your way in. Definitely. Matt,
Thank
how do
you.
you feel about being this human council members?
Well,
Always in the mix.
it was kind of funny because here I was. I made it. Obviously, I made a commercial for the program, and then I'm basically cursing at it behind my breath, and then in the meeting, saying bloodsuckers, So I think I'm more of an antagonistic anything, if anything.
Yeah, the human, because when it comes to the government, you kind of get beside yourself sometimes, and
Well, I'm also a real politician. I'm not
yeah,
in real life, but I mean, I'm playing both
yeah,
sides of the fence completely.
yeah. You get beside yourself a little bit, get a little bit too big for your britches, but that's okay because Lucius and Greg are gonna handle that. But it's quite all right because you said a few things under your breath, but you got real quiet at that meeting.
All I did was pick me up in the.
Yeah, you got real quiet, but that was good. But I want to, thank you for stepping into those shoes. We didn't at first. I didn't know how much those characters would evolve, but as we went along, I saw more and more need, to place you in these. I was like, no, a human official would be there. It was easier to fill you in. Once I know who characters are, it is easier for me to start adding on and building extras, even though sometimes it's, last minute. But Thelma, but
I remember. I remember last minute. Remember?
yeah,
Oh,
So we're
it's not.
supposed to shoot in 3 weeks. We're supposed to shoot in 3 weeks. And I got a call for a big show for 3 weeks of steady work. And I said, fuck. I told Mimi, I said, Mimi, what I should do? And of course, since she cared about me, she said, no, Alex, you should take that show. And then bottom of my characters, let me think about it. 3 hours later, an entire story comes up. Me, the brother. I mean, she's basically create on the spot a new a new side story. So that's impressive.
Oh, well,
But
thank you. Yes.
and I would say just to both of you, and I know sometimes we understand things come up with actors, in the middle of shoot, and we're, just as much as you guys appreciate us, we appreciate and honor you. And it's really how you carry yourself in that, you
Yes.
know, coming to, Miga or us, a certain way. We want to see you guys win. So we
Yes.
understand things and we try, to move around or help as much as possible. But how you show up for us is how we're going to show up for you.
I know.
And even you doing that, Alex, you've always been there, whatever we needed to show up. So how could we not, like, because I was like, oh my gosh, I was so concerned because I was so connected to who you are and your character. And I didn't see that. And then once we got to talking about, me and I had met Tobias. Was crazy. I had already knew I was going to work with Tobias. He didn't know when we met a year prior. Um, and when that opportunity came and Omegia and I talked about it, and when you hear his voice and the name again, it just worked out, how it was supposed to. So, yes, we wanted you there. And I can see how, I already know the building off of this is going to be amazing, because Omegia, she gets excited. And when she starts giggling and just talking, sometimes we're on the phone and I don't even have to say anything because she's having the whole conversation for both of us. And it's just hilarious. And I love it, to see when her passion, comes to light. And this was one of those, and all of you being a part of that is special, not only for her, but for me. So I appreciate you guys, and you guys rock that. Tobias stepping up, stepping in, with you, Alex, on that was just amazing. So good job. And good job,
Well, we
Omegia.
appreciate you guys. We appreciate you and trust. And then I got the feedback from a bunch of people. My entire stunt team was just delightful. How you guys treat him, respectfully for wise, professionally wise. My entire stunt team was very very happy. But I'm telling you that sometimes you guys don't know, especially when you're directing, Amiga, you can have eyes even if you try. You can have eyes everywhere. Katie, same things. What you guys maybe don't notice that people in the background, people in the crew, everybody's very happy and honored and put 100% on their craft to make these things happen. This is supposed to make you feel proud because it means the best leaders are the one leading by example, not the leading by fear. So, and you guys are leading by example. That's why when there's a problem, people are willing to step up and help you out because you give them a good example. Okay, I make so much compliment today. I'm too nice today.
Oh, but I want to say your stunt number one, the stunt guys were amazing. Some of them I worked with before, but even the newer guys that came in, especially for the very long day that we had, which
Yeah, yeah,
was the gala day, and then we had the street fight. Oh my gosh. They were so good, and we had so much fun, and I was able to allow them to even do more than we originally talked about, just because they were so good. And they were like, hey, do you mind if I do this other little thing, if I pull the lady down this way? I'm like, as long as the people that you're working with are comfortable, go for it. When I gave them that cue, oh my gosh, they went into that room
yeah,
and
yeah.
they did just so well. With, like, everybody jumped in when they realized that I was okay with them ad-libbing for the scene, even with the stunt guy. And then one of the guys, he actually ended up having some lines. I can't
Yeah.
remember I know what he looks like, but I can't remember his name. I mean, he did amazing. The guys, the street fights, that day was full of so much fighting. it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it was insane, but it looks good. And so since you are, the stunt guy, how did those scenes turn out when you actually watched them for you? How do they look from your perspective?
I mean, they look fine to me. They look fine to me. There is something. Uh, there is something that can be done better in a both way. In a way, it was shot at. In a way, we actually was practically done it. But I mean, I think overall, I'm happy with what we have. I'm very happy with what we have. And of course, once that we already set up the vibe of the show, the next one is gonna be more. We're gonna make something more. I don't say more violent, but we're gonna make
Yeah, no,
something
no, no, no.
more
We need more violence. We need more violence. We
more
need
realistically.
we need more we need more police. We need no all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
all of no, we need it. We need more.
So Kathy, that's the excitement that you're talking about right there. You see how excited she got?
That is right.
Well,
Yes.
wait a
I'm
minute. If
proud
you
of
need
that.
more blood, you
More
could always
blood,
take it
more
from the
blood, more blood.
Never mind. Never
No,
mind.
and that's one of the things that I love about the fact of that this is a series. It gives you the opportunity to look at it and be able to see what you like, what you might want to tweak, what you might want to go more in depth with. It just gives you such a range of different directions that you can go with it. So Donors definitely does not stop with season one, and the fact that we were able to do a rendition of it in a movie format as well was so innovative. And that's one of the things I like about Omega. Like her mind, her gears are always going. She's always coming up with something. And it's the same way
Have
because I remember when I
a little
initially talked.
rabbit in the brain.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yep. When I
Really.
when I initially talked to Kathy and Omega about the character, and they was telling me what they were thinking of doing, I was like, "Oh man, we gotta have a strong name." And Kathy was like, "Oh no, we already got that covered. Omega's already on it. She already got the script. She's on it. She's already written it out." So I love the fact of where she's able to really just pour out, and the fact that it's been such a labor of love over a period of 10 years to really see it to matriculate and materialize into what it is today. I knew it took a large amount of work, and it's really
Come,
nice to see it start as a web series and over the time frame and see what it is
come,
to today. Because I get so much
come.
feedback every
Thankfully.
time I open my inbox. I have somebody sending me a screenshot, a screen
Oh,
record.
yes.
I get a lot of feedback, especially about that outside scene with Soren, me, and Gregor. I get so much feedback on it. It was like, man, that's such a powerful scene. It's such a powerful scene. It's like I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and I've had some family members be like, "Well, we want to get these views up for you, so we just got Tubi playing in the background. We want to get these views up for you." So the support has been such an outpour. It just really just makes you proud to be a part of it, and just to work with such an amazing cast where everybody works together. It's not a situation of someone trying to outshine each other. We're successful as a unit.
Yes. And I would like to add just even, you know, being a part of, casting, with Aaron and, even Terry kind of jumping in the mix with us. What's interesting about what Omega did, there were a lot of people who where their parts felt small to them, but they were so much bigger than what they could even perceive.
Right.
And a lot of times as actors, everyone is looking for the lines, and sometimes your presence and how you show up, how you take the small can create an opportunity for something more. Omega is big on that. Of if you show up, big, even if it's small, she will make room for your talents. And I
It's
like to tell people all the time, make sure, just show up. Sometimes an opportunity isn't about making $1 million at that on that one day, when it can be spread out, or, she'll create a whole character for you, just how you show up and do well. So,
Hey,
um,
y'all.
hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, we can say hi.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, how's everyone doing?
How you doing?
Hi.
Hey,
Hey.
hello,
Hi.
hello.
I miss you guys. I love
Mhm.
working
Miss
with
you
you
too.
guys. You guys are
Oh,
awesome.
thank you. Hey, a part of the stunt team, something, and people take that for granted. People take stunts for granted. They feel like if you're not the main person on the scene, piggybacking off what Kathy said, they feel like if you're not the main character, you have 50 million lines. They take the stunt team for granted.
Oh yeah.
And I love my stunt team. I
Man,
you know,
We love you.
season 2 has a whole lot more.
Ooh.
and I can tell
Excited.
everyone loved
Okay.
the stunt team at the gala. Everyone loved the stunt team at the gala. They were ready to get bit. They were ready to do whatever y'all wanted to do. The
Right.
stunt. They were ready for you guys. Like, yeah, get
Okay.
me.
So since I got my partner in crime, Marian Singh, right there.
Yes.
That she's an amazing fight choreographer, and she's my right arm since I don't know years. I don't even remember. Um, I need to go. So because my sister, I need to go to help her out. So
Get back to work, sir. Get back to work.
any questions that you have right now since Marian is here, Marian will answer because she's my right arm, so one of the person I trust more in my life. So
We got you. We
I
love you
love you
guys.
guys. I love you, everybody. Thank
You
you,
too,
thank
brother.
you. You guys are amazing, brother. You're gonna be you're gonna be bigger. You're gonna make a bigger
Oh,
brothers.
we're
Yeah.
gonna we're
Yeah.
gonna make this work, brother.
Okay, love you
Yes.
guys. Bye.
Love you
You too,
guys.
Bye.
man.
All right. So let's go ahead and introduce. She can introduce herself, even though we have a very long history of working together. But Marianne, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Marian Singh. I am so excited that Donors has got its little wings and it's finally out there in the world because we started this a long time ago. But now it's just really great to hear that people enjoy it and what we did with it. And I am the partner. I'm Alessandro's partner for Action ATL and Folquito Productions. I am a fight choreographer, and I both act and do stunts in this one and choreograph fights for some of the sequences. I have really enjoyed working with everybody, and it's so great to see both versions of the people that were chosen to do this now. And I think that we got a good crew going on right now. We got a good group of people, and I really enjoy working with everybody. It's just so much fun being on set. And even though I am a troublemaker and I am a mess, as Tatiana, I am very excited to give my one small contribution to the Donors epic.
One small contribution because
Well,
Okay, I'm gonna correct Marion right
please,
now.
Tatiana is big.
First she done went from a joke, talking about a joke. Now she talking about little wings. Now my small. If you don't give this some bigs and some big ups, ma'am, come on.
Right.
You are awesome. This cast is awesome. You know, of course, as you know, a lot of love and labor has gone into this. So so it's just to see everything that has played a part, to even make this happen is big in itself. So pat yourself on the back, pat Omega on the back, and give it its rightful props and due.
Yeah, because something difficult that happened, it was on Amazon before it hit Tubi, and I know Tubi will surpass it with the numbers, but having over 500,000 views on Tubi within a week is insane. So ain't nothing little about this baby.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the numbers, the latest numbers for Tubi. I just heard the Amazon numbers.
No.
That's great.
No, those are Amazon. I don't know the Tubi numbers yet. I said Tubi will absolutely, surpass it. Well, we were sitting in the featured section of Tubi, so that's telling me without even seeing the numbers that it is doing numbers because it wouldn't be in the featured section. So
That's
that
true.
alone right there. And today, well, yeah, it's been only a week now. So it is doing amazing, and it's gonna just continue to bring us into other things. And Tatiana was another character that wasn't there at first, and she got created and evolved,
Yeah.
into the project. So that's another amazing moment, because during the after the web series, you created this commercial almost,
Yep.
or reality show, and it was so funny with with Tatiana, and I was able to build and evolve off of that.
I actually still have that video clip.
Oh my gosh, you should post it, because that was funny.
Okay.
But yeah, you should post it. I mean, right now it is a free for all. If people can post their clips, they can do whatever. Now it's out there. We have to wait. What a lot of people don't realize, when you're working on film and the film is going through the pipeline, just like the major studios, it goes from being in a theater, and then it hits this platform, then it hits that platform. There is a pipeline of film, and everybody wants to jump out there as soon as the premiere is done. People want to jump out there. Oh, I want to post my scene. Why are you trying to post your scene now when the film isn't even out there?
Right.
Or the film just hit the first streamer like Amazon, and you're trying to post your scene. Why are you posting your scene when it's on a paid site? Like, you're giving yourself away. And the other thing that always blows my mind is, if you're only in one scene, why are you posting that scene? If that's your only scene,
right?
You're trying to get people to watch you. Why are you giving it to them?
Yep. I'm gonna. I'll edit
insane.
it. I'll edit it shorter, but yeah, I'll definitely share it, or I can send it to you, and then you can post it whenever you want.
No, because what you missed earlier is what I clearly said. Y'all gonna quit waiting on me. Y'all gonna quit waiting on me and waiting for the production to promote and to celebrate y'all. Y'all can celebrate yourselves just like I'm celebrating myself. Well, I'm getting used to it on my side.
Mm-hmm.
That is something, huge. Everybody's waiting on me. Y'all have all the stuff as well. This is go time. It's still going through other streamers, but once it got to Tubi, it's go time now. Have at it. Yeah, don't wait on me, because you got to think, I'm on the business side and I'm doing things strategically for the business. And our cast is way too big. So
Yeah.
I can't focus on every single person, all the time.
Yeah, I got invited to a LA Horror Con on September 19th to 21st.
Nice.
And on my promo card, I put donors.
Oh, okay. Okay. Look, Halloween next to donors. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
I got legacies on there. I got the originals, and then I got insurgent, and I got donors with Halloween. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that is awesome, honestly. So yeah. But everybody, that's a great step. Everybody needs to also promote themselves. Don't just share what I post, because even if you're sharing it, that reach gets limited unless you're posting it yourself. So there's that.
Cool.
But
I will definitely go through.
I do want to ask you, how did it feel stepping into Tatiana, the Corvana Coven's lair for the first time, and seeing, because you have been there from the beginning, but to see how we evolved and we were in a much bigger studio?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was really cool, and that's why I brought that one costume from the first time. I wanted to bring a costume from the first filming that we did, and to see, it's like, oh wow, we can go over here. We're actually in a studio with sets and all that cool stuff, and it's not, that was really cool. And just to watch and see how many people are participating now, and the attitude of everybody working together as a team has just been so great to see. I don't know, it's just like, oh, it's all grown up. Oh,
It has its wings. It has its wings. It's an eagle now.
That's right. So it's one of those eagles with the talons the size of your head.
Really is understated. It really is understated about this. I mean, we are a family, and I've done 3 projects with you now. and everybody else has done 3 or 4 projects, maybe, in some cases more, it really becomes that family thing because whenever we show up for set, hey, there's so and so, it's going to be a good day.
Oh, I loved it. But I'm big on, I love bringing my people back. When people show up for me, I show up for them. That is the key right there. Keep showing up for me. I'm gonna keep showing up for you.
Yeah. And I just wanted to let Marion know one of the most, do you know what is the most asked question about you from donors?
What?
I get it all the time. Is her tattoos real?
Right. Oh yeah. Yes.
Everyone wants to know, are the tattoos real, Marion? So
Yes,
go
they
ahead.
are. They are
Okay.
real. It's
There
over
you have it.
70. It's over 70 hours of tattoo.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. They were absolutely perfect for your scene.
Yes.
It was hard. It was funny and hard for me to do that scene with you,
Mm.
Yeah.
but it looks so vicious and so great, and it makes for great TV. How about that?
Well, I tell people, and I think I told you last time we chatted on Messenger that, well, the whole world's seen my booty now.
I know. I was like, "Go, Marion," because I wasn't on
Yeah.
set to see it. So all these things coming together when you're not there on set to see everything in person. First of all, you know how I feel about you, Marion. There are so many beautiful layers to you. I'm shocked and mesmerized by you every single performance. I cannot lie, but I said I saw Marion's cheeks. You better go, girl.
You didn't even look like the same person. Like, we have you in wigs all the time on every show. You have a different wig, but this time you had so many different wigs, and like in that scene, you didn't look like I have photos of you. Of course, I can't post the photos because you have blood all over you, and otherwise I would blast them everywhere. But violations. You looked completely different. Just like I'm gonna segue into Thelma when she got tossed in to beat his mama the morning, showing up. How was that? You showed up as a crew member. Next thing you know, hey mom.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. Walked through the door. You didn't even let me get my bag down good. And I was like, say what? I don't have no clothes. And she was like, don't worry about none of that. Just go upstairs to makeup. And by the time I finished makeup, the clothes was there. And I was on set the very first scene of the day, by the way.
Yeah.
So that was, like they said, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's
So
right.
I had enough time where I was sitting in the makeup chair to learn them lines and get down there and give you what you want.
Came on
And
and
it ended up
delivered.
being one of my favorite scenes.
Came
You
on
what?
and delivered. Woo!
Yeah.
Had so many people mad at mom. Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
Yes.
So
that dynamic needs to be flushed out. Yeah.
yeah. So I have a question. Since you are on the receiving end, Omega, of all of the feedback, what are the main things that you're hearing about each of the characters? Do people have different characters that they gravitate to, or is there a reason, or what are you hearing?
Everything that I'm hearing so far has, number one, been amazing. I get people that watch the series, in the middle of them watching, they will send me messages. And it's different now because it's people that I don't know who will find me. I'm used to the other people who would typically find me. The feedback has been amazing about different characters for different reasons. They love Nyla because she's so soft. I get some people, ooh, Lucius, bite me. Tatiana, okay, she mean. Why is she so mean at first? And then what happens to you now? They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that to her. Now you have a whole fan club. When at first they were like, oh my gosh, we hate her. Because, it was that flip in the moment, and they hated you because River is so good in his scene, and he's so terrified when he's shaking trying to hand you the tablet, and you're so vicious towards him, so they hate you so much. But in the end, like they feel sorry for you. But people, all of the characters, there hasn't been one character that I have heard anything negative about. Even people that are just there for a part-time, like the stunt guy at the gala, when he looks at Heather, and he speaks to her, like even that stands out. And but that's the point of writing and giving lines for a purpose, which is why it's important to know the story, to go by the story, and not just, make up stuff that doesn't even fit the character. When people get out of line and do that, it comes off.
Yes.
It doesn't fit right, on a lot of shows. You can tell that somebody just threw some stuff in on different shows. Sometimes you're like, this doesn't even go along with it. So it's a testament to everyone who actually knows their character and knows the story. And I'll take that back to Thelma, like being her mom. In order to be able to do that scene, she had to know the story
Mm-hmm.
to make it land the way that she did. In order for Matt and them to show up, Matt, Ian, and Peter, for them to show up as a human council in those board, it's different when they're in their own little world at their house plotting versus when they're in the boardroom. You have to know a bit of the story in order to make it, land properly. How Lucius is going to perceive them, how Dante is going to, perceive them and feed off of them. Like, what is the why? Why are these characters like this? Like, why would he even be comfortable saying something smart to a room of vampires? Well, in this world, it's a political game. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
So it's a testament to everybody. Yeah.
And I think even for all of you, I would be interested. What of your some of your feedbacks? Because even for me, first of all, like Thelma, I got thrown in a couple times. You know that I wasn't supposed to be the shooter. Uh, Spoiler. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, spoiler alerts. Watch it. This is the watch party and the live. So
you you
watch it,
still
watch
have to
it, watch
watch
it.
to see
Yes.
how that happens. But I mean, everyone, I've got so many calls of like, I watched donors. I can't believe that's not even who you are. So it's surprising for people to see me, especially when I haven't talked about it, because heck, I'm trying to fit in because yes, like many of us, we're going to get thrown in to do something. Me, oh, this makes sense. You're doing this and you also have this and you're doing this. And I'm like, oh, okay, Terry, I got a jacket, got something. Yes, always figuring it out. But I would be, what are some of you guys' feedback on what people are saying to you guys?
Oh, absolutely. It's been the same. I've been on different sets and they're talking about, oh, Tobias is on Donuts. They're doing so we'll be on set and they have their own little watch party going on. And I was actually at one of my friends' house. She's a director and she was going through some things and she was like, well, I'm gonna pull up Donuts now. So they're watching and everybody's stumped. They was like, not Kathy, not Kathy when that scene came up. It's hilarious, but it's been amazing because I've gotten so many people have told me, "Oh my God, this is like Underworld of 2025. This is so nice. I like the fact to where there's layers to it. You're getting more of a political approach to the traditional vampire story. The fact that there's some romance entangled with that." I think they love the dynamic of, Tatiana and I going back and forth. They do like that. They like the fact to where Tanisha, you can see such evolve somewhat of Nyla, where she goes through this little timid phase and then she, comes to really feel comfortable and confident in who she is and she steps to the throne. I'm like, okay, I see her. So I've gotten so much different feedback on all the different characters, but it's all been very, very positive. And it's like, of course, it's what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
You hear that all day long.
Yeah, a lot of the what's next. A lot of what's next, and I think they love the overall chemistry of everyone. Said I get a lot of feedback on the brothers. Um, so a lot of people really connect with. They love their energy and the chemistry between those two. So they always talk about the brothers, and really eager to find out where that's going to land next. And yeah, so that's
Absolutely.
that's a lot of good feedback on that one. Tobias, they always want to know if that's your real voice.
Yep.
That is
That's the
I
question.
I get that. I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Or they always want to know, like, so what's the backstory? So what was Nala doing before this? Or so Gregor and Lucius. So I like the fact that people are so invested. They're so invested in it and kind of just want to know how it came to be. They want to know about the director, the creator. They love the fact that it's a female writer. They love the fact to where we really you see that we're family when we're on set, and you see the way that our characters really build off of one another. So, like I said, it's a pleasure to say that the Donors is a project that we have streaming on all these different platforms, and people are really knowing who Omega Keys Harden is, even though it's Omega Keys for uh, for the public. But just really proud of everyone. I say that wholeheartedly. I'm proud of everyone from behind the camera to in front of the camera. We put in some work, and it shows.
including all the people that had to try to get the contacts in our
Oh
eyes.
my God.
oh goodness.
The
Oh
contest.
man,
Oh
right.
my
No,
gosh.
I've
hey,
worn contacts
can I
once
just,
in a video thing, and it is tough. It is
yeah, can I
very
just
tough.
say now that's the job I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you need to have an assistant.
I know, right? Yes.
Yes, you have
No,
to have an assistant to help with the context.
Oh my God.
yeah, just
That
for the
is the
context.
journey. And
Yeah,
people
we,
were like, I know some people were like, well, can't you just CGI it? I hate CGI. I am a practical effects person. So no, I'm not going to CGI your eyeballs in. So
yeah, yeah.
no, we're gonna get the context in and we're gonna work because it just adds that extra layer of viciousness. Especially there is this scene when Nyla, when she finally comes to the coven, and when she walks in, all those vampires are leaning in, that and you see their
Oh.
eyes as they're leaning in to sniff her and do
Mhm.
everything. It makes a difference. Now I know some shows they don't have the context. I love the originals, don't get me wrong, but if they had different color eyes sometimes, I think that would add even another layer to it. Just for me, I know they have it like when they change and stuff like that, but this world is, vampires are known, they're out there, so why would they hide their eyes?
Or their fangs.
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely,
Oh
absolutely.
gosh.
Yeah, because I'm not really accustomed to context. I did it for one other project, and I remember I went to Terry, and I was like, she was like, Fine River, Fine." She was like, that's his department. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, you really had to be committed.
Mhm.
I think there were times to where my eyes were irritated the first time, but to see the effects, to see the product afterwards, it was worth it. It really was worth it. But I like the fact to where people also they wanted to know, like, oh man, the context, like where you guys get it. And I see Lucius, his contacts are this color, so and so. So they love the fact that there's so many different questions of how these stories are intertwined, and what really came together to create the story to what it is. So I
Mhm.
think, like you said, I think it gives a layer of substance and mystery, to make people really engage into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Jay
so
said he
engaged
scared
them.
three
Like you
people
have.
outside of it. No, Jay said he scared three people outside because he had those red contacts in.
Oh no, I think that was hilarious. There was two parts. So there was one time when I first met Nyla for the first time. I was coming out of wardrobe, and she was coming on set. she literally jumped back. She was like, oh my God. She's like, that looks too real. She said the fangs in the eye. She's like, I'm out. I'm out.
Yes.
And then with Young Six, and we had, we did the quick rehearsal, and
Oh.
she was trembling. And I was like, I say, yeah, I say it's okay, it's okay. But I love the fact that where it gave that response. Mission accomplished,
You
so
still never got her snatching her butt up though. She was trembling, but you still snatched her.
oh no, that's what somebody else said. They was like, so Lucy's is snatching kids now? Spoiler alert.
Hey, we're all about the spoilers. Yeah, she did amazing. She
She did.
that little baby girl, oh my gosh, she does such an amazing job
Hmm.
every single time, for what you throw at her. She was like, I'm not afraid of you, Miko, when she was terrified of you. But it was,
she's
it
she's
was
such a little
really
professional.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
had her lines down. She just and she's just so articulate to be so young. So she was like, it was a pleasure to meet you. It was a pleasure to work with you.
Yes.
Oh,
And I
Yeah.
said, absolutely, I was just so proud of her. She didn't fumble on any lines. She was ready to go, no matter how many takes we needed to do. And some of the times I think people don't realize, like when you're a lead or things like that, your job is not only to embody your role, but you have to be able to set the tone and encourage your other castmates. And
Yes.
as
Yes.
her being the
Yes.
lead within that, even with the young kids in that
Yes.
scene,
Yeah.
she really was the catalyst to really get them to get into character and get to more. I was just so proud of her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking of, because Tanisha's both of her
Boy.
boys were in the scene. How was that?
Hey.
How was that for you or them? They can answer, with those scenes, with those flashbacks, walking into it and seeing the whole room, transferred, being in there. Oh, because it was one was the actual the torture room, and
Mm-hmm.
then you had the
Sleeping
orphanage.
room.
Yeah. How was that? I can't hear you, Tanisha.
How was the orphan room scene? Oh, oh, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah. Were you scared? Kind of. The man was screaming.
Oh
The
Oh,
man
yeah.
was
oh
screaming.
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Let's
was a
share
lot.
again.
That was a lot to share again for the torture room, but
Yes.
his job was to scare the kids and show the type of the world where not even kids get mercy in. That the vampires just saw the children at that time just as like things, and not, they didn't care that you were young. They were just there to study y'all. That was their perfect opportunity to study everything about humans as they grow, because they ended up growing into the adults as well. But Tanisha, how was that for you to see your kids like that?
He's still trembling over that. It's such a he was like Tobias' voice. Was that the one that did it for you? No, it just kept making me laugh.
Tanisha,
Kept making you laugh.
she asked, how were you about seeing your kids?
It
Um,
was just seeing them in their moment and seeing them be able to take. First of all, it was phenomenal that you were able to give all the kids the directions and they were able to take it and receive it and work with it, because that takes a lot of work when you have a lot of kids that are kind of hyper throughout the day, throughout the moments, and then for them to be able to settle into a moment like that. I mean, that I got to give you kudos for that, because we saw the beforehand, kids all excited running around. Hey, who are you? Who are you? But for you to be able to get the kids to kind of get into those moments and settle down, and they were able to grasp on to the other characters like Tobias and the scientist. It was Gregor. It was just amazing. It was so thrilled to just see all these kids in here just really embracing these characters and these roles. But to
They
see my
did a
fellas
great
down there,
job. They
oh,
did such a
It
good
did.
job.
It
I
did.
love I love how they how it turned out, and once we put it all together to actually see it, they just looked like they were just done so wrong.
I mean, and
But
Terry, the wardrobe was phenomenal. Just like getting to
Oh
get in the
yes,
wardrobe and getting
yes,
them all scratched up and dirty. I mean, it was
yeah,
yes,
so real. It felt so real once those elements came together.
and I
yeah.
would say kudos to, of course, on my side, the production team, who did help with that set that,
Ooh,
because that stuff did come in and really make it
yes, it
fit. You felt like it's somewhere to be scared of,
Yes.
right.
Right.
Oh
so
goodness.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the
it definitely
needles and
sold.
everything laying everywhere. I mean, it was so real, that entire scene when they were locked up in the chains and everything, and the cots on the floor. It just looked like an entire, like just a whole different
It was a
area.
different
Absolutely.
world. Yeah,
Yep.
you would not know we were in a box.
Right, exactly,
Yep.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, what was interesting for me also was seeing the scenes. I wasn't there for all the days of production, so when I got to see scenes of things that is like, oh, cool, oh, I haven't seen that yet. That was really nice to see. And besides the contacts thing, the fangs
Yeah.
were also a challenge at some point. I mean,
Look at
I
Terry.
didn't have many problems with them, but I know that it
Some
was
people did.
to having
Yeah.
to do those
Yeah, I think that you
individually.
had the most. I think you had the most innovative ones. I loved yours.
She
Um,
got hers molded in
yeah,
on a, like a
yeah.
retainer, so hers were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we need for everybody.
So
They
so
need
I
to go
was
get it
I will
themselves.
say this to those who are watching. When we ask, can you wear contacts?
Amen.
Tell the
Yeah.
truth.
Tell the
Yes,
truth.
because
This is not for the faint.
no,
Okay.
it's not. And tell the truth, or you will get replaced.
Yes.
That's the real right there.
We were replacing
We
people
were
because
we were replacing people with the background extras because they could not put a contact. Okay, well, next person up.
and that's
You
just
have to
even
do
with some of
that too.
the
Yeah.
cast members. I mean, even before we were started shooting, people were saying, "Oh, I can't. I tried to put in contacts. I can't wear them." So at the last minute, we're like,
We
"What?"
recast them. Yeah.
So we had to
Recast them.
recast. So a
Yeah.
lot of times our jobs, while it feels like we're done, we're not done most of the time. We're still putting out fires.
Yeah.
Sometimes that others, you guys may not know that we're still just we got to keep going.
Yeah, because once we were filming, we had to ask people to show us photos with them wearing contacts because
Yeah.
we couldn't risk them coming on set and not being able to put them in. So it's like, no, we need video of you putting in the contacts. And that's how we had to swap out, a few people because they could not wear, contacts.
And,
So,
and
you know,
then on any production, if you are given things, please know, return the items to production because we still have to keep account for things. So a lot of
yeah,
times we had people trying to walk off the set. They wanted to keep their eyes. They wanted to keep stuff. They will take costumes. They will take the props. Like, please,
no.
on
And
any
there's
set that you
on
go on.
any, but
Any
especially
set.
on indie
Any set.
sets, we're not always able to replace those things right away. So you're hurting the production. We don't have those $1 million budgets. Don't do it to them, and definitely don't do it, to us. And I mean, I heard somebody say, "Oh my gosh, well, that's not cool if you're keeping the context." No, we're keeping them so we can keep an inventory.
Right.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, we're keeping up inventory so we know what we're working with for the next season. How many
Right.
did we go through? What's the count? What's
It's bigger.
all of these
It's bigger
different
than
things.
y'all.
It's a
Right.
whole lot more than what you think is going on
Right.
with those. We're trying to see, how this goes, what we can do better, what change we need to know, even what brand worked best, because
Yes.
we did end up switching brands midway through because one brand did
Absolutely.
work even better.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's a multitude of things that needs to happen. It's not always about you in your moment or somebody, doing something to you because we want our stuff back.
Yeah.
which is which is
Mimi, can
weird
I?
that
By
yeah.
the way, Terry, did you ever get the stains out of that suit?
Nope.
Oh
I
God.
tried.
Oh,
I listen. I can work a lot of magic and getting stuff clean, but that suit's a goner with the Kool-Aid stuff. Yeah, we probably would have been
Oh,
better off actually using the stage blood, but I don't think it would have been as comfortable on you as the other effect we used. So
well,
yeah,
look,
it's
what we
done.
did try to say, use something that can be
Yeah, it was it.
disposable.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was a suit I bought just for that, but there's always a hope that you can, repurpose it. I mean, I guess we could use it again for a scene where somebody gets really bloodied, that would
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
But Mimi, can I speak to something really quick about the background?
absolutely. They were amazing.
Yeah, well, and you kind of mentioned how some of them stepped up, when people couldn't wear contacts, and that's a lot of who I hear from after this has started airing different places is from the background. They're so excited to have been a part of a production that they were so welcomed and respected. Like I said before earlier in this talk, I've been doing background for a long time. That's how I actually met Matt. um, so we know what it's like to be on projects where, you are the bottom of the barrel. Background is like such an afterthought, but yet on Mimi, on your projects, they are always welcomed and respected and given their chance to show you. I mean, that's how Matt has ended up where he is. We needed people for keeping secrets. I'm very protective of who I'm going to invite on as a background actor because I know that there are some that just
Yeah.
aren't going to
No.
be a good fit. They're not going to have the work ethic, etc. So, Matt was one of those. I said, hey, do you want to apply for this particular scene? He came on, and I think in that project he got lines right away or was doing something
Yeah,
crazy.
yep.
And again, you
he
gave.
got 3 pages of lines.
That's right.
The
That's right.
second
That's
day,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, as a background actor yourself, you can respect the work that those folks do and you let them do it and you give them the accolades and you give them the opportunity to be able to go out to their friends and be like, look at this show that I got to do. Look, my name is in the credits, whatever it is. That speaks volumes of you and speaks volumes of the family environment that you create, and that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, that's where I got my start as background on the originals. I immediately got moved from background to being a stand-in, but still they go hand in hand, and then
Yeah.
being a PA later on. But still, like, I know how I got treated a lot during those times. Me and Dante started on there together, and the treatment on there wasn't always, the best, especially when you're dealing
Nice
with,
understatement.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with hundreds of backgrounds sometimes. It makes it easy, but I will say that the background that we had for donors, no matter how big the crowds that we had, they were amazing. They showed up, they listened, number one. They listened, which is very, very key, because sometimes you get background that don't want to listen and they just want to do what they want to do and it ruins the shot. But I would say that every last one of them stepped up. So it was my goal to feature as many of them as I could. I went out of my way to make sure that they were featured in some sort of way. So I
Hmm.
loved it. And I love all the ones that had to, step up in more, and be more prominent in some of the scenes. So I'm thankful that they were able to do that as well. So love the
And you
background.
mentioned you mentioned earlier about the safety concerns that you have on set and letting, Alex and Marion, really kind of take charge of that. And having worked on sets, I won't name them, but we all have been around the background world for a while. As a background actor, you end up doing stunts that you should be getting a stunt rate for, right? But you're a background actor and your safety is not really taken into consideration. So again, you keep that in your mind and you make sure that everyone's in a safe environment and is comfortable. And if they're not comfortable, then okay, let's reposition you so that
Yeah.
that's not a situation for you. And that's so appreciated.
Yeah, one of the hardest scenes for me with that was that protest scenes where all of the background were showing up in waves, where we had the drone shot,
Hmm.
and I had to give every background in their cues because they had different starting points. Then once they got to the crowd and then they take off running, having to stress, guys, do not push each other, do not, whatever, find you a good spot so you can run away safely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the fact that they did it and it worked so well, and with the gala, because a lot of them were working with the stunt team at the gala. And it's funny because when they first showed up, the background was scared and timid, like, oh no, when I read the scene to them, they were like, oh no, we don't want to do that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We're just gonna do a walkthrough first. And then when I gave them their cues, oh, then they want it all in. Even some of the more, Matt likes to think he's the oldest on set, but he was not that day. For the gala, we had some very much older women, and to see them wanting to get bit, or it was just amazing that they trusted the production to allow that to happen, and it turned out so well.
Mm-hmm.
I have somebody in the
Yeah, but I'm
comments,
still the
no
second
running on
fastest
set.
person on set.
Oh,
Huh?
Mimi.
Yes.
Speaking of
Mimi's
the
the
level of
fastest.
protection, there was a scene where, you'll have a few little wardrobe mishaps, but a little bit of cleavage may have slipped out at one point, and I just see Mimi flying across the bed. It was like, no, trying to keep me covered, but just to have a director show that level of care and just protect you in these moments. She came out of nowhere, just flying across the bed to just make sure, we were comfortable, we were good, I was covered. I was like, oh my goodness. It was a scene, you remember that one, right?
I know
I
exactly
do.
what scenes were, all the bedroom scenes, because you barely had your clothes on the whole time. the whole time in those, but it was the very intimate one when with the buttons flying that one happened on. And what can I say? Look, I was doing something with the camera and I just saw it out the corner of my eye, and no, we cannot have
Wait.
this, because y'all won't have me on some reality show talking about me.
Oh yeah, she doesn't miss a beat. I do remember a wardrobe mishap with Soren. I remember that as well. And BB was on it. She was on it.
On it. On it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Outside in the woods because he had to keep bending down. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Yes. Yes. He had to bend down to pick up six. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. We
I'm
had to
not
have.
saying a word because I was out in the breeze. I'm not saying a word. I mean,
Yeah, and it was so
Yours was
funny because
on
actually
purpose, though.
when we had the premiere, well, I had so many people. They was like, "Oh, I'm bringing so and so. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming." So they was like, "Well, is it appropriate for kids?" And I had to think about, so I'm thinking about Tatiana scene. I was like, "What?" I said, "Yes, it's I said, it's definitely going to give you a lot. It gets a little colorful." Um, but oh man, yes, it was just so many different dynamics. But I like the fact to where you just never know what was coming next because I wasn't ready. Just like Marion said, it's good to see as a cast member when you're able to see it, the full product, and there's different scenes that you weren't on set for, so you had no idea that it was coming. And say, okay, this is a different side that I hadn't seen before. But just
literally.
everything. I agree with everything everybody was saying. And one of the things I really wanted to touch on too, just the background. Again, the background was so delightful to work with and so locked in. When it came to the throne room, the background was
Hmm.
on it. They were on it. And sometimes people don't realize, even when you don't think the camera is on you, or you may not think like, oh, my role is not that pivotal, is not that such a big deal, and you can become one of the most loved characters, and you can just be seen in the snippet because there's a few faces that I don't know their name, but when I see it, they really sold it and they were locked in. Even
Yeah.
when Dexter made his cameo, the
Yeah.
when they Yeah, it's so many parts of it. I just really fell in love with.
Hold up. When Dexter made his cameo, he literally
Poor
had
thing.
pulled into the driveway from work. And I was like, no, back up.
I gotta
Back
get off
up
this
and
mic real quick.
back up and pull in again. And he's like, wait, what? And I was like, well, back up and pull in again because it's some other stuff's gonna go on. So he had no clue what was gonna happen. And the scene, the take that we used was his very first take for that initial reaction for her to come around and get him. Because he
That's
didn't know what
funny.
we were gonna do. I was like, no, just come on and come in the house. Like he come in the house. It was fun. And Kathy was out there on the streets too, getting tossed around.
I
Well,
think
guys,
I'm
I
gonna,
gotta get back. I gotta get back to work, but it's been
thank
so much
you.
fun.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you
See
for
you later.
having me, and it's so good to see everybody again in our little reunion.
Thank you. I think I'm probably in so many scenes people have no clue.
Right, right,
Sneaking
right.
around somewhere in the scene, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I said she will throw me in. Nobody's safe on Omega Keys Hardy set. Nobody is safe. Not the husband, not the friend. You come to set, you're gonna be thrown in there. I
Yep.
just remember
Right.
when we did the protest scene, a couple of people brought people. They got pulled in. Even I
Yeah,
think our baby girl, her auntie
yeah,
got thrown in.
yes. Everybody.
She will throw you in. So if you come on our set, just know
Good. Don't
you
show
gonna
Yep.
up. Don't show up thinking you just about to come and watch anything on my sets. No,
Right.
there is no just watching. You will be an active participant. Yeah,
Yes.
with the baby girl, the auntie. It was
Yes.
Yep.
supposed
Yes,
to be
she
the
was so
baby, but we
adorable.
were like, nah, it'll look better if a vampire came in and picked the baby up and walked out with her.
Oh Lordy. That is.
So
No,
And
there is
Terry, you and
no
that scene
nothing
where you're
safe.
trying to give the newscaster a cup of coffee and you turn and look at the camera.
Yes,
they
yes,
stole our jobs, right, Terry?
They
yes,
did.
and they
They did
stole
steal
our
our
job.
jobs. Hey,
Yes.
Tanisha, you should look at my credit for that line, or for that spot in the credits. I'm the
Oh
bitter. I'm the bitter PA.
The bitter PA.
But that's even those little things. That's what I'm saying. When Amiga writes or when she's on set, she thinks about those little things because that wasn't, initially in there, but give that
Yep.
extra,
Yep.
thing that, and it just adds to it. Just like there's my other scene at the warehouse, getting the gold. And she told me to add in, I hate vampires. And it just kind of fits, with everything that was going on with Terry and I in my discuss with
Yep.
just, having to deal with them. But, those little extra things she's always thinking about or she sees on
Even the
set.
guy speaking Arabic though, because I just happened
Yes.
to walk by him going to the bathroom and heard him having a conversation.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right.
And
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like, wait, you speak Arabic? Come on. And he was so nervous. He called
He
up a
was.
friend to make sure that he was saying, because the lines were written in English. So he was calling family members and friends so he can make sure that the translation was correct. But it was just so good, and to me, it added another layer to it that he can speak Arabic, but you can continue speaking English to him, and the conversation still flowed. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just those things. If I can find anything to elevate the project in any way, I'm gonna do that.
I will tell you what elevated also was your location shots.
Oh,
Your choices
yes.
of location. That's the
Yes.
questions I get the most.
Yes.
Where did y'all film that at?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I get that. I'm like, I don't know nothing.
Right.
But
Right.
here's the thing, like I say, the key things with location. Yes, we had some amazing locations this time, but
Hold a
I
thought real quick, just in case this speed drops. I will put another one back up because it may stop at 2 hours. I'm not sure. It may keep going, but if it does, I'll come
Yeah.
back on. I'll take
Yeah,
a
I've
5
got to
minute break
I've
and
got to
come back.
jump out. I've got a
Go ahead. This
busy
is one of those
afternoon. So
come in
hey,
out
it's
as
good
you
to see
please. We're
everybody
just
again.
celebrating.
I'm at.
Congratulations, and we'll see you somewhere down the line.
Yay!
Yes,
Will do.
Take it easy, everybody.
All right, bye.
Bye,
yes.
Matt.
Bye.
But Thelma, to what you're saying, I actually did something else in the warehouse that we filmed at, and it looked totally different because, depending on what you're doing, you build out for that. And even doing those walls, you would never know that's the entryway, because you don't have a clue. So every location, people are like, oh, I want that. And having a dream team, is important. The wardrobe, all of those things go together. The characters, the wardrobes, the location, and the production, design and set deck, all matters and it goes together. But yes, we did have great locations, but turning those things, and sometimes when we look at things, I'm sitting here like holding my head, oh my gosh, because Omegia just, she's already done her part. Now I have to live up to what she's done. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, I'm stressed out. I got to figure this out because I want it to show, I need to
Yep.
match her fly.
Yep.
And
So,
even the innovative part, because we had our director pulling out some of her stunt skills when she was
Right.
doing that dungeon scene.
Right.
And
Who you
like,
telling?
look, she made it work. I was just so amazed. I'm like, how in the world did they make that work? But just having the vision and creativity of how something is angled, you can make this
yeah,
narrow spot make it seem
Yep.
like an entire dungeon. It's
yeah.
Right.
amazing.
Because you know
But
what?
with that, hold on. Okay, go ahead. But I gotta
I
give
say,
credit to
because
some
I
folks for
said,
that.
I'm going to give y'all everything, but I'm not going up in there because it's too tight. I'm claustrophobic. I'm not going up there. Here, whoever's going, let me give y'all the chain, everything y'all need, and have at it. And you can go. And she was like, I'm going. She climbing up there. I said, oh my goodness. She is,
I climbed all the way in with no problem, but what y'all couldn't see was Thelma and Paris on the bottom on both, because there were so many ways to get up in that very tight space, which is how I was moving around and getting those multiple angles like that. Paris and Thelma were on both sides, so I wouldn't step off the ledge.
Oh wow.
They were holding my ankles up sometimes because I had to lean so far, like lean and curve the camera around corners. Yeah, they were holding me up. They were holding me up. And it was, I guess for some people it could have been very dangerous, but that is for me in trusting your team and trusting that they were going to be there, because
Right.
I showed them my movement, so they knew where they needed to be. So when I'm looking through the camera, because when I'm looking through the lens, I can't see anything else but what's on camera. So that was just so thankful to have them there for me in those moments. That's a lot of stuff that people don't really think about, how much it takes
mhm.
to do that. And Travis, he was getting the camera rig up off of me quickly, so not having that extra weight, like it was a lot of moving parts, even with though our team is so small, to make it happen. And I'm like so thankful. The crazy part is, if I did not have the team that I have, I would not go as big as I do for an indie production. But because I do have the team that I have, I'm like, I'm gonna write this, y'all read it and let me know if I need to like reel it in. Because at first I was gonna scrap that whole flashback to 1200 BC. I was gonna scrap that, because I didn't know if we could pull the wardrobe off. And Terry was like, that's my jam. I
Yep.
do this and I can do that. And Kathy was like, we were looking at, for the scene, wallpaper and stuff like that. I was like, how are we gonna make this? How are we gonna make whatever area that we use? Because it's not like we can find a 1200 BC orphanage. How are we going to create this? And I just remember from working on some other sets, how fake those walls were. And that's how we came up with wallpapering.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
that's where that
Wow. That's
creativity come
and
in. Like the
and Kathy, that was all Kathy with those candles. I was like, I just need candles, and she came up like those candles look so real.
The
Because I
bleeding
was
heart
worried.
candles.
I was like, how are we going to keep candles lit and for them to look the same, but also providing this light that we need for the natural lighting with the flickers? And those fake candles they look so good, just casting that little bit of light to give us those pops of, lighting, so it didn't look out of place. It looked like it came from the candles and not from the, you know, all the equipment, the lighting equipment. So those moments and those things, they absolutely matter. And everybody jumping in when needed, even from the crew and the cast. When we're in those tight spaces and we're crunched for time, the cast, how they're like, okay, what needs to be done? All right, you need this move. They'll just, they start helping.
Jump
That
in.
means a lot
And
when we're
that's how you
turning
know
over
it's a
those
family.
teams. Yeah.
That's when you know it's a family, when your crew, especially Tanisha. I have to tell her all the time, if you don't go sit down somewhere, because, on the other side, you want to make sure your cast, you don't interrupt their flow,
Right.
but
Yeah.
she's so big in always wanting to give and help. And I love that. But we understand, you know, it's the love and care, and we do see you guys showing up big, and it is appreciated. But we feel the love, and we want to give the love back, because we know when y'all say, okay, well, we got a few minutes, so we need to do some more. All right, go for it. Let's get this done. Let's knock it out. What do you need packed up to move? Everybody jumps in and help, and it's just awesome.
There is
That's
no,
the
that's
thing
not
too.
my
Like when
job.
you,
There's not this. I said there is nobody saying that's not my job. Yeah.
right, like when you see your team going in so hard from your director to your producer, everybody's just jumping in. There's nobody's too good for anything on this set. I mean, it inspires you to want to go in and do all that you can to make sure you pull this production off and give it the best that you can give it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Because I jumped off my throne. I took that suit off, threw my sweats on, and I'm helping the crew, like, wrap up cords and getting lights. And they was like, oh, Tobias. I was like, no. I said, we in this together.
Yeah, but you helping me in the corner too when you were on the throne. When I squeezed into that corner next to you, was like, you gonna be right there? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna peek from behind this curtain. It is like, that makes it the best. And like, once you realize I was set up there, I like the care that you took to make sure I was okay, squeezed up off in that little tight spot that I was in.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna look out for my
appreciate
people.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but some people don't care. The thing is, some people don't care. It's like, you on your own. It's whatever for, you made sure I didn't fall off the stage.
Right.
Over there doing too much.
Right.
No, so it is wonderful. So I guess I'm gonna start winding this down, but I want to make sure, watch donors. You can still comment with your feedback from you watching the film in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. The comments, we're gonna keep them open. We appreciate that. Not Thelma holding up the book, baby.
Hey.
Come on, Thelma.
Yes. Donors is also a book. It started as a book, but you can stream Donors on Tubi. You can stream Donors Upgrade Your Lifestyle, which is the movie version, on Fossum. It'll be on Tubi soon as well. And any last thoughts from my panel of cast and crew?
I would just like to say thank you guys. You guys are amazing. And Omegia, I have been getting asked too, forgot to mention this. Everyone's asking me about those gift bags. Everybody's still asking me, can they have a bag from our premiere? They say, we show up to y'all premieres because we know we're going to give some good stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I didn't even get one of those gift bags.
Right.
I make sure everyone else. Hey, Andre, we see you, Andre Hall.
Love you.
Hey, Al.
Yes, part of
Man.
the New Haven Coven.
And that was such oh my God, that premiere, I think we couldn't have asked for more. It was wall to wall. And that's one of my favorite theaters. So I go all the time. And every time I go, they tell me, oh, here go Lucius. But oh man, it
So the
was just
two theaters,
amazing.
two,
Mhm.
two.
We had
Yeah.
multiple red
Yes.
carpets. We had the camera people. We had people showing up dressed to the nine. It would
Right.
look, mama was up giving her fist in the air. You
Yep.
know, all that. It was, oh man, it was unforgettable. Unforgettable. But everybody was stating, because I've been on different sets and I always get feedback, and it was like, man, that cast was huge. But it was like the fact that you guys all got up and you shared some from your story and you talked about how it was to be on set. They was like, it really made that moment even more memorable. But one of the things I thought was funny, because when we were in the theater and we seen, they didn't realize that it was a series. So when we just had the first installment and went off, you heard them all get disappointed. And Mimi was like, guys, it's more, guys.
Right.
It's just
But
the first one.
I made that decision to not cut the credits because I wanted everybody who's involved to see their credits after each part so they could take photos, so they could do everything. Yes, I could have just cut it out, but I didn't want to. I wanted everybody to have their shine after each one. But I said from the beginning, it's 3 parts, it's 3 episodes. But yeah, that was a big groan after that first one. They were mad. I'm like, no, it's more, I promise it's more.
Yes.
Y'all wasn't
I
about
had
to be
people, they were like,
looking at
that's
the
it.
theater.
I was like, no, she said there's more.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love it. I had to catch some people who were getting ready to go, and I'm like, no, it's more. They're like, what? Hurry up, sit back down. Yes. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yes. So any last words, Terry, Thelma, and Nyla?
Just thank you. This is such a beautiful experience. I mean, working on this set with you and Kathy, it's always seamless because one, people don't understand. We're so well prepared before we get on here. And I mean, you really take your time to embrace and love on your team, your crew. Um, and it just reflects the shows amongst everybody that's on set, amongst the people you cast. You know, there's just nothing but love in the room. So thank you for providing just one, not only a loving place for us when we're on space, but you allow us the opportunity to just give our all as artists. You know, we're not micromanaged on set per se. Um, we're able to really go in here and do what we do. And it's just a blessing. I'm just so happy to be a part of this team. I'm not gonna lie, it's just
We
I
love
love
you
it.
too, girl. We love you too.
Well,
And I
I
second
am.
all of that. I second all of what she just said. Just the experience of working with the two of you. I mean, Black females doing the doggone thing. That every day I come on set, it's like the females, the crew was mainly females. People got this image of females can't work together. Well, y'all
Mm-mm.
put that to bed because we get on that set and it runs smoothly. So
Yes.
I want to
You
thank
did
y'all for
heavy lifting at that on my
uh-huh.
set.
So I want to
Yes.
thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to. Looking forward to season 2.
All
Yes,
right.
let's go.
Well, I
Yes.
am going to jump off myself because today is my mom's 75th birthday, and I am
Oh,
going
happy
to
Oh,
take
birthday.
happy
her.
Birthday, mom.
birthday.
Yes. Happy
Birthday,
Happy birthday,
Mom.
birthday.
mommy.
Happy
Still go
birthday.
back and see that.
Birthday.
So I love you guys. Stay
Love you
blessed. Stay
too.
encouraged. Support donors. You guys are fabulous, and everyone, and I love to see it. So I'll
Yes.
see you
We
guys
love you too. We
later.
love you too.
Love you.
Love you,
Love you. We
Becky.
love you.
Bye bye.
Jay
Bye.
said my character is ready to get back into the look he gave them riding by. Yeah, he was giving that.
Oh look, yeah, I've heard. I had
That's
people give me
true.
feedback about that too. They was like, "Oh, he mean business. He mean
Yeah.
business."
Yes, Jay. Thank you,
Yeah.
because Jay also showed up. It don't
Yep.
matter where we needed
Yes.
Jay.
Yeah,
He
he
was
he
he
was
was
a cute
grinning instant.
and cast. Yeah, so
Yep.
loved it.
Yep,
Yes.
for sure.
Get off, Kathy. Don't be
All
late.
right. Bye.
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 Yes, being the boss is the boss. Y'all, I'm so happy. I am so happy and I am so thankful because the feedback has been insane. You just never know when you put yourself out there, you set yourself up to be dragged, you know, but you just hope here and there that a few people will like it. Well, I haven't been dragged about donors yet. So I guess we're doing something right. So
Mm.
all the feedback has been amazing. And like I said, people have gone out of their way that I don't know, but they see our names in the credits. So they come and find you on social media. So I have so much feedback from people that I don't know. I've even had people in the UK reach out to me and
Wow.
let me know that I'm doing a great job, which is crazy because I thought it would have taken off in the US, but it has taken off in the UK.
Wow.
Like, of all places, the UK is running with this hard. It's the UK, the US, and Australia and Germany. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what's leading the way. So I'm just all around thankful. And I thank everyone, whether you're listening to this live or not, everybody that was a part of Donors, I want to thank you for helping to make Donors what it is, bringing my passion project to life and it looking amazing. I'm not just saying that because it's ours, because I can be my own worst critic, the harshest person when it comes to being a critic on this stuff. You know, I'm always looking for ways to improve, to get better, to do whatever. But for what we have and being an indie project, we did an amazing job. So I want to
Yeah,
thank
we
you
did.
guys and
Yes.
everybody else that was a part. Terry, what you got to say for your last word?
Nothing, just let's get the watches up so we can get busy on season 2.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And we hope to see more of Andela in season 2. Absolutely. You know, I think that she
Look, I wasn't supposed to be on the cover of the magazine. I was just supposed to make my small.
Oh, you killed
pop-up
it. You
announcement, but
killed
the
it.
magazine cover. Kathy was like, "I'm taking this from the photo shoot. Here you go." So yeah, so I'm definitely. Angela has a lot more things in store. She has a lot more she has to say because she has to make sure that the marketing and the PR for the donor system is on point, which is why
Okay.
I dropped that immediate release because that's so Angela coded.
Absolutely.
So
That's
yeah, that's
awesome.
it. But thank you guys, and
Yeah.
until next time.
Until next
Okay.
time, good to see you, ladies.
Bye.
All right,
You
thank you
Good
too.
to
so
see you
much.
guys.
All
Love
right.
you guys.
Love you
Okay.
too.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. Okay.